this day.
Welcome to Homecoming. Great to have you all here. How many of you are here for the first time? Well, that's really great. The rest of you know this place to be what it is, and I hope at least that you remember our mission statement. If you would, let's just say that together. We are a spiritual community awakening to our divine nature through love, service, and personal transformation. I was reading up about community and said it's really important that people know what they're about. And just thought I'd remind you with that we are a spiritual community, meaning that our emphasis is on our internal development, but we do it through some internal ways, transformation, but also through external ways of loving others, including ourselves, and by being of service. And that service can take the form of internal with us, or it could be part of the outreach, or it could be part of, you may not think of it as service, maybe putting your paintings up on we do an art show, or you may think of you're just being selfish by showing up here, but I can guarantee you that for those of us who come to church to see another face here is reinforcing that we also belong and have a place, and a place that has some power and grace about it. When we see your face, we're reminded that your presence and ours are what make a community. And community seems to be the one thing, or one of the many things, but certainly one of the very important things that the world is missing now. In America today, more people say they don't have someone they could call in need to discuss something than do. It's about 2/3 say they can't. They have not a home of friends, of people who are on the same path, or people who share the same values. They may know what they think or believe, but they don't know who else does. Years ago, as many of you know, I was, as a kid, I thought I would be a minister until I realized that I thought that the idea of the Son of God or the child of God was everybody and not just one person. And with that, I thought I had excluded myself from the community of the church, or I just didn't feel like I belonged there anymore. And so it wasn't until I was in my late 30s that it dawned on me that I could ask somebody, where else do they believe in that stuff? And so I had a teacher. He was a teacher, a psychic teacher, really. So he should have known, right? Anyway, he directed me toward unity, and I get to unity, and I'm sitting in there, and I'm already in a seminary, just hard to explain, but I'm already in a seminary, and I'm thinking, they're not saying anything I don't like. And I spent 5 days a week sitting in class going, no, not exactly, no, not that, yeah, okay, I'll take that, and doing that I don't belong thing over and over and over again. And finally, I dropped into a place where they didn't say anything I didn't like, and I was shocked. And very soon thereafter, I went to this week-long class, kind of a mini seminary they would hold every so often around the country. And I went, the unity teachers there went on, and they never said anything I didn't like. And I realized that I had established my personality as a no personality, as one that was always pushing against rather than one that could settle back and relax into it. And literally, I felt like I was off balance, like I didn't know how to walk, because I was so used to being against rather than with. And for many people, when I've met who've come to Unity for the first time, they go, I didn't know it was a place. Well, this is the best kept secret in town. Unfortunately, they're right, but you know, it is true. We do an excellent job once you walk in the door of expressing love and acceptance, I think, but we don't extend the invitation to those who are hungry, really hungry, to know that they are not so weird that they can't find a community. We leave them in the dark as though it would be an insult to say, I think I got something for you here. And maybe you're not a psychic teacher, but there might be somebody in your psyche that you know could use this place, could use a place where acceptance is the norm, where we don't make rules about how you need to act so much as you need to act in such a way that you honor the divine within you and the person next to you. And if you do those things, you will find this to be your place. And you don't have to believe particular things so much as you need to live as though you believe that every person is a child of God. If you will do that, this is your home. If you don't do that, I used to say this to other people. I used to say, you know, the only people we can't stand are the prejudiced people. We hate haters here. But every community needs an edge. It needs to know what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And it's just not acceptable to come in here with a lot of loaded thoughts about whether people belong or not. So this is who we are. We're people on a spiritual quest to awaken as fully as we can to the reality we hold to be most real, that we are actually spiritual beings at our core, parts of the divine, that know ourselves best often when we do service or give love to others. Though we may be willing to change and transform ourselves, we're also willing to be here just as we are, and to accept others in the same condition. And so that's who we are. And how do we grow as a community? How do we invite others? We just ask them. In preparing for this day, I was looking at several places, and they came up with this same thought, that the invitation is the antidote to someone feeling they don't belong. There was a guy who was a Yale divinity student who said when he got to Yale, he thought he didn't belong. It turns out almost everybody at Yale feels like they're a fraud, that they shouldn't be at such a revered place, that somehow if people found out who they really were, they would be excluded. And so he realized this. So he started having dinner parties. And he would have dinner parties every Friday night. And in so doing, he was inviting lots of different people. And one of the people he invited, who only showed up, he said 3 times in the whole time they were there, was this guy from the Philippines, who was basically in a different culture, at a very elite place, not in his own country, and his wife was not with him, etc. He was very isolated. Years later, the guy from the Philippines said to the dinner party host, "It was your invitations that got me to stay at Yale. Otherwise, I would have not." And he only came 3 times, but he was invited often. And the sense of belonging is one of the critical missing pieces for the sanity of our world right now. People don't feel like they belong. And if you've noticed, the one place many people are jumping into to feel like they belong is into the political world. because they don't have a home base that is a community that says you do belong. So they look for something they can identify with. And if not, they pull for Duke or Carolina. It's one of those things, it's like we are needing to belong. It's part of being a social animal. It's the nature of our DNA. We need to belong. We need touch also. I personally think we need physical touch, contact, eye contact with live human beings. And it's part of the reason why, to all the people who are watching online, this is an invitation to you, especially for you. Come here and share in the energetic feel of being with other people. Now, years ago, it's been years now, we used to do what we call greetings and hugs, which worked for some people. It didn't work for others, as you may remember. By it didn't work for others, I mean they felt uncomfortable with people they didn't know coming up and grabbing them. I know this. I feel pretty comfortable in this church, but I once went to a friend's church in Modesto, California. I was sitting on the front row with the minister, and this woman comes from way back in the back, and she comes running up and just throws her arms around me. And I go, "What do you think I am? I mean, did I ask for this?" And I guarantee you here I don't feel my space invaded, but there it just felt wrong. And so we took the time during COVID to drop that, to actually not invite people to assault others without them. But as a community, it was a bonding thing once you were on the inside, right? Once you knew people here and liked them and all that, then you didn't mind it so much. Maybe even enjoyed it. Maybe you were one of the ones who came from around the corner to get somebody because you knew that this was a way of expressing how you felt. And it brought people together and it energized the community, and it would be lovely to do it except for the very things that I just said, to not exclude people, and many people, I think, walked in the door, first thing that happened to them, because it usually happened in the first 10 minutes, is someone grabbed them. Well, actually, probably more than one. And they went, either they went, "I love this," or, "Where's the door?" But remember that I still think we need touch. So if you go out of this room and someone approaches you, there's a really good chance they know you already, right? And so you won't feel that way. And if you do make contact, I think it's part of the process of building community is that we actually have contact with people in deeper ways than just hello. Shaking hands works, something, but feel encouraged to love someone. I was talking with a friend recently who is taking this class on the microbiome of the body. Do you know what I'm talking about? Most people talk about it as only in the gut, but it's all over, your whole skin, everything. And one of the things that I'm sorry about this bumping. I'm sure it'll go away at some point, maybe next week. But they were saying that people would be ill and they would dig a hole in the ground the size of their body and then lie in it. And one of the things it would do, reintroduce into their system, their body, from the skin, the missing microbes necessary for their health. Seems reasonable to some degree, right? That essentially we have, we wash, we do a lot of things to strip the microbes off our body, and perhaps we'd be better off with more, not less. I have no idea what that is, I'm sorry. And so one of the things we might be sharing when we hug, this is my theory, is we might be sharing the missing pieces of our biome that produces health. Now, if it's not a microbe, perhaps it's a micro experience that we're missing. When you think about it, contact with others is as natural to human beings as it is to, say, a tribe of monkeys. They're constantly grooming each other. They're trying to make something happen there. And when they do that, they're bonding with each other. So, I guess I'm moving to a new microphone. Thank you. Let's consider the words we say and the physical touch we give and the eye contact we make, part of that missing pieces in our own emotional biome, that we need that. And it's not an embarrassment to need that. It's just a fact. And that as our community grows in our own ability to recognize the goodness within ourselves, it becomes easier and easier also to recognize the goodness in others. And part of that is to be reminded when you forget. That's the emotional biome we need to move into a deeper state of self-awareness. To let that which is of communal prosperity, the communal prosperity of acknowledgement that each of us is divine in our own way. Each of us are going through our own struggles, our sense of loss, our fears, our wins and our losses. And it is the community's sense of caring and allowing us to feel like we belong that buffers those vicissitudes down to a manageable level so that we do not become a statistic of depression, of suicide, of craziness. But we find our way to be at home in our own skin, in part because we're at home in the community. And it's more than this church, it's more than your family. It takes a village of communities for us to be whole and complete. But those two places, the family and this church, are great places to start. And so I want to think now about the people who actually started the church. There are a few, I can see 3, I don't know if there are more, people who were founders here. Would you all raise your hand, please? 5, 6, 7. That was a big deal, wasn't it? 35 years ago, to take off to start a new church, to put your money, your time, your heart and soul into something that has caused us, I mean, who knows how many thousands of people have come through here and been lifted up. Good deal. Congratulations. It worked. And since then, there have been thousands of people who have volunteered, and thousands of people who have given their money, and thousands of people who have said a prayer for someone in the church or for the church itself. Thousands upon thousands of people have done this. Many of them have come through like water going down a river and have left, but we don't begrudge them that they moved on. We can be grateful that they have made the energetic pattern that we can walk into and that exists even if we leave. It continues. It is the pattern that stays even if the people don't, because we leave a trail by the things we do in our life. And when we do it collectively, it becomes quite strong. So I just want to thank the people who are helping putting on this weekend. I want to especially say thank you to the people who helped with Bubblepalooza yesterday. Bubblepalooza is BJ's way of inviting the whole community, not just Unity people, but the whole community to come and play and bring their kids in particular, and to have a day of joy and expression, of fun and lightheartedness and community that's built by that. And they did a beautiful job yesterday. And we have a beautiful potluck, I must say. I made chicken and coleslaw, so I'm expecting you all to come and have some of it. I made my granny's chicken, so if you can't handle spice, don't have it. But the eating together is part of the magic of putting together a community. Don't you know that even Jesus thought that? Take, eat. Take, eat. Be part of this. Own your place here by eating with me. Right? Own your place. You belong. My mother, God rest her soul, my mother had a few phrases, one of which was, tell them who you damn are. And it has served me pretty well, not always, but pretty well. But the other one she would say, especially to people who are new to the family, take your place. Take your place. You may feel insecure, but you belong here. Take your place. That's true of all of us. Let's take our place in this community. Let's own that we are lucky to be here, that this is a place of love and acceptance, and it is in part because we practice it. Take your place. You belong. We are indeed a spiritual community that is open to everybody except the haters, and we intend to grow spiritually through love, service, and personal transformation. Let's take that in as the truth. Let it be true for us. We've said it 100 times. Let it be true for us. We are a spiritual community, awakening to our divine self, the essence of who we are, through love, service, and personal transformation. Let's make it so. Let us pray. Let's pray. As we come to the table of community, let us take and eat and become part of, and let it become part of you as well. The food we really share is that of community, allowing each of us to recognize
who we really are? I want to read you a poem by Antonio Machado. Last night I was sleeping. I dreamt, marvelous error, that spring was breaking in my heart. I said, along with a secret aqueduct of water, are you coming to me, water of a new life that I have never drunk? Last night I was sleeping. I dreamt, marvelous error, that I had a beehive here inside my heart, and the golden bees were making white combs and sweet honey from my old failures. Last night, as I was sleeping, I dreamt, oh marvelous error, that a fiery sun was giving light inside my heart. It was fiery because I felt warmth as from a hearth, and sun because it gave light and brought tears to my eyes. Last night as I slept, I dreamt, marvelous error, that it was God I had here inside my heart. Let us awaken to that truth. And so it is. Amen.
Time Beautiful, beautiful. Next Sunday, we have Halloween fun planned just for you. So come in your costumes, decorate your trunk for trunk or treat, and have plenty of candy galore, and it's fun for all ages. So that's trunk or treat. Now, as we've been talking about, becoming a member or feeling a sense of belonging to this community is a gift that you give yourself. It's actually a place where you feel connected and you feel a part of it. So if you'd like to become a member of this church, please come and join us for a one-day training that will be held on a Saturday, November 5th and November 12th, or November 12th, either one. This is a gift, as I said, that you give yourself. There are several benefits. You can be a member. When you're a member, you actually get to vote at the congregational meetings. And you receive a call from a volunteer prayer chaplain every single month who is willing to pray with you and share your blessings and your challenges. So see you on November 5th or 12th. We have among us a gifted musician, Kevin Strike. Many of you have heard him playing his clarinet many times here. He is going to be offering a tribute recital on November 13th at 4 o'clock in the afternoon right here in our sanctuary. And this is to honor his late partner, Eric. It's a fundraiser for cancer research, so come out to support him and cancer research, as many of you have been affected by cancer in one way or another. Today is a big day. Did you know that it's Boston Cream Pie Day? So that means you get to eat plenty of cream pie. So come to our potluck right after the service in the fellowship hall and enjoy cream pie. For those of you that are guests, we would love for you to join us. We are a generous community. We have plenty of food, so please come out and join us for that as well. It's also the opening of the art exhibit. And this is where our local talent, we have great creativity in our congregation, display their artwork. So while you're eating cream pie, enjoying the potluck, and also communing and connecting with your community, enjoy the art exhibit as well. And now will the greeters please come forward as we bless our gifts and I tell you a very short story. We often talk about giving and receiving as part of our spiritual practices. This is something that if we do from our heart, feels very welcoming to us. When we circulate the energy of time, talent, and treasures, it comes back to us in kind. And so I'd like to tell you a little story from me. Due to illness, when I was 37, I retired for the first time. And it wasn't until my 50s that I was able to return to work. So naturally, my financial resources were very sparse and have been very sparse through all that time. But I have been blessed in so many ways by gifts and donations from friends, loved ones, family, too many to name, and too personal to mention details. So as I have been able, I have done the same. I have helped others with my financial resources, but more importantly, with my time and my talent. So if you're not able to offer your time, your treasures, you can offer your time and your talent as a volunteer, as what Newsom has talked about many, many times. So I have been blessed, and I invite you to bless others with either your time, your talent, and your treasures. And for those of you online, there's an easy way for you to donate your treasures. Just go to the website, unitytriangle.org, click on the button that says Donate at the top corner. And so now, please come to your heart and decide on the way that is right for you to give of your time, treasures, and talents. So now let's bless our gifts. Together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I receive, and all that I receive.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to live, kill, or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace, with skies of blue and clouds of white. Bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, the colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people strolling by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. You may say, I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. Oh, a brotherhood of man. I hear babies crying. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. I see trees of green, red roses too, I see them bloom for me and for you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think it could be such a wonderful world. Imagine, just imagine. Can you imagine?
Cindy Johnson, y'all. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Let the love we let wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. The light of God surrounds us.
I am the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
I am the power of God.
The presence of God watches over us.
I am the presence of God.
Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
well.